What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who watched my previous video, thank you. It was quite a long video, but today I'm going to try and keep this one short. Today is just going to be a chit chat video on how God gave me a camera, Canon 700D, in the midst of no job. Okay, because I have touched on it in a couple of videos and I've always said that I'll do a full video on it and I haven't done it, so I decided to do it today. The reason why I'm doing this video is just so that you guys, sorry, I don't want to use guys anymore in my videos, so you all, my brothers and sisters in Christ, can build your faith and you can be strong in your faith and you can always, you know, depend on God. That's the purpose of this video, so that when God tells you that don't worry, I'm going to provide it for you, you will have 100% trust and your faith will grow and you will believe that God is able to provide it for you. And hopefully you might be able to come back to this video and be like, you know what, if it happened for her, then it can happen for me. So let's get straight into it. Alright, so in the year, I started YouTube in the year, oh my goodness, what year did I start YouTube? I think I started in the year 2015. No, sorry, it's been a year this year. So it was last year, yeah, 2017 I started YouTube. So when I started, I only had my phone. I've talked about this, like if you check the video 1 year on YouTube, I've talked about how I started, what made me start and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, God told me to start YouTube. I had nothing, all I had was my phone and a ring light, and that was about it. So after like 4 months being on YouTube in the very beginning, I was on my bed. I can never forget this day. I was on my bed, yeah, and I was like, God, I am so sick and tired of this quality. Like, I want a good quality camera. I want a Canon I want a Canon 700D, right? I was on my bed like that. So I got up, I took my dad's camera and I started Googling, you know, different types of camera and what's on sale. And I started looking at Argus, I was looking at PC World, I was looking at Curry's, I was just looking at every single store that had a Canon 700D, and I was thinking maybe some of them might be on sale, maybe there's a way I can buy now, pay later. Bear in mind, I had no job, right? So I'm telling God, like, God, I want this camera. God's like, don't worry, I'm gonna get it for you, don't worry. But on this particular day, something in the inside of me was like, nope, I've had enough of this phone now, it's time to just upgrade. And the thing with me was, in the midst of that, I felt like, okay, maybe I should just start with a really small camera that's all right, a very cheap one, and then maybe when I get a job, I'll get the Canon 700D. But the thing about me is, I just don't like to settle. That's my problem. I don't like to settle. When I've seen something that I like, or when I've seen something that I want, I just don't go for anything less than that thing. It's either I get it or I don't, but I don't settle. So I was looking at other cameras and I was like, no, it has to be this Canon 700D or nothing else. It just has to be it. So when I did all my searching, I realized that Argus was like the cheapest price. Normally it was around between 530, which is the cheapest from Argus, till about 580, right? That's the highest you will get. I think now they've stopped it now. I think now they've got the 750D, if I'm right. But anyway, at the time they still had this one. So I said, okay, Argus is the cheapest. So Argus had this thing of buy now, pay later, 3 months or whatever. So I had no job, right? I'm on job seekers allowance. For those of you that don't know, job seekers allowance is something that you do in the UK when you have no job, and they give you like about maybe £100 every 2 weeks just to, you know, keep up with yourself while you're looking for a job. So that's what I was on. And when you're not working, or when you're on job seekers allowance, to be honest with you, you can't get a lot of things. You're not entitled to do the whole buy now, pay later. So with the Argus thing, they do a credit check, and I think somehow they would see, or they would know whether you're working or not working, because obviously your income is going to be very low, right? So I was there trying it out. I was thinking maybe I should lie that I'm working, or maybe I should, you know, do something, but the Spirit of God inside of me was like, no, don't lie about it, just, you know, let it be. So I kept, you know, trying out the whole buy now pay later thing with the Argus card, and whenever it was due the credit check, it kept telling me no, it kept denying it, it kept declining. I said, God, you have to do something. Like, I'm sick and tired of this camera. I am tired of this camera. Like, I can't continue with this quality. Not when I look at other people's YouTube video and the quality is like HD, it's crispy, and I'm stuck here with this Galaxy S6. Like, I'm tired. Like, you told me this year I'm gonna get this camera. God, you have to make a way for me. You have to make a way for me. So 3 hours, I'm still on the PC trying to work out something, trying to do something. You know, when you're in need of something, like when you really need something, you will go far and beyond to make sure you get that thing, right? So here I am, still, you know, trying to do a little bit of something, and nothing was working out. So after spending like 4 hours on it, I was starting to get very annoyed. I was getting pissed. I was like, oh, you know, all these people out here, it's easy for them to get it, but I'm here, no job, and I'm trying to upgrade this thing, it's not working out. I was just starting to get emotional. You know what we're like, our mood swings just move everywhere. So anyway, after like a few minutes, after I was done complaining in my head, getting annoyed, I just said, you know what, just forget about it. Maybe it's just not yet the time. And I was really down. So I was on my bed, and then this song was singing in the inside of me. It's Travis Green, You Made a Way. If you haven't heard that song, you need to go and listen to that song, okay? Because there'll be a time in your life that song, the lyrics to that song is going to mean a lot to you. So I was on my bed and that song was singing in the inside of me. And I've done a video on different ways God talks to us, and one of the things that I've mentioned was through gospel music, okay? God talks to us through gospel music. So when that song was singing in the inside of me, You Made a Way, and I was, you know, because when the song is singing in the inside of you, you need to listen to the lyrics, because whatever the lyrics is saying, that's what God is saying about your situation. So the song is, you made a way, you move mountains, you cause walls to fall, in your power you perform miracles, this and that. So basically what God was trying to tell me was that he's going to make a way. I've tried, you know, doing everything that I could. God could see that I've tried everything in my own means, but nothing is working out. God could see that, you know, I'm not just believing in it, but I'm trying to work towards it, and it wasn't working out. But that song just kept singing in the inside of me. You made a way, you cause walls to fall, in your power you perform miracles, and there's nothing impossible for you to do. So when that song was singing the inside of me, I just said, God, you know what, I trust and I believe that you're gonna make a way. I don't know how you're gonna do it, I don't know when you're gonna do it, but I believe that you're gonna do it. After I'd said that, when I got up to go to the toilet, my phone started ringing, and it was a private number. And so, like, it's not like I don't pick up private numbers, but I'm a bit with private numbers, I'm a bit but I just said, you know what, let me pick it up. Who could possibly call me anyway? I'm not in any job at the moment. So I picked it up, and then a man was like, is this Damilola? Am I speaking to Damilola right now? And I said, yeah, it's me. And then the man was like, well, I could just see through my system here that you've just ordered a Canon 700D, and that I just want to tell you that we'll be delivering it to your house by next week. I'm like, what? Hold up. Sorry, can you just tell me which name is on the system, because I don't think that's my name. And this is what I said to him, and he goes, no, it's your name, it's Damilola. I was like, can you spell it out for me? And then he spelled it out. I said, can you spell the surname, because there's a lot of Damis. And then he spelled my surname. I said, yeah, that's me. And then I said, what address do you have on the system? Because when I was trying it online by myself, it didn't even allow me to fill in the address. It didn't allow me to put in my postcode. It didn't allow me to put any detail whatsoever. So I asked him, I said, what address is on the system? And then he said the address. I said, yeah, that's right. I said, what's the postcode? And then he told me the postcode. I said, oh, that is my house. He goes, yeah, so I just want to say congratulations, you know, you're gonna get your camera next week, and I just called to inform you that your Argos card will be on its way. I was like, wow. I said, okay then, I'll be expecting it next week Friday, eh? And then he hung up and I was like, God, I just thank you, because I was like in the midst of no job, right? I've been trying it by myself. Nothing is working. Everything is just declining. Like, I've been, you know, see if I could lie about it. Nothing was working out. So anyway, then after a few hours, I was like, is this a dream or is it a joke? Or is this actually reality right now? So I said, okay, we'll wait till next week. If the camera comes, then I know it's real, right? So the camera comes the following week on a Friday. And I was just like, wow. So it came and I was like, God, I just thank you. I just thank you. Because sometimes, like, some of us, we put so much pressure on our parents to get us stuff. We put pressure on our partner to get us stuff. And God's like, I just want you to depend on me. I just want you to trust me. I want you to look at me as your dad. Look at me as your provider. Look at me as your protector. That's what I want you to look at me as. And sometimes we don't look at God like that. We just look at God like he's just this big God, and you know, we can't just come to him and ask him about anything, and that's wrong. You can come into his presence and ask him for anything and he'll give it to you if it's according to his will. You know, if I was asking God for a camera so I could just show all my body out and talk about stuff that is not really edifying his kingdom, I don't think he would have granted that request. I don't think he would have done that miracle for me. So yeah, the camera came. And then I got the Argos card. So it was buy now and then pay in 9 months time, right? The story isn't finished yet. There's still more faith in this story. So I got the card. I said, okay, I've got 9 months to pay back this whole £530, right? So bear in mind, I still have no job, but I'm not worried because I got 9 months, right? I'm not worried. So I'm applying for jobs, and you know, when you're applying for jobs and you've got a good CV, you got a good reputation, you know deep down that, you know, you're gonna get a job. You're gonna get a job. So I started applying for everything: retail, receptionist, office job. The one thing that I wasn't applying for was cleaning, because me, I am not cleaning no damn office. I'm not cleaning after anybody's mess. I'm not cleaning the toilet. I'm not doing any of that. So I was applying for everything but not cleaning, no catering, no kitchen work, no escorting, none of that, right? I started applying. Everything is just declining. No calls for interview. I'm like, God, what's going on? By this time, I've got 6 months left to pay this 530. I'm still not getting any phone calls. And I'm like, God, is there anything I'm doing wrong? And you know, when you're applying for all these type of jobs, right, you try to change the CV according to the job role that you're applying for, right? So I said, you know what, maybe I should stop doing that, because we're not supposed to be lying, and if I'm lying on my CV, that's a sin. So I stopped doing that and I left my CV the way it should be, right? And I know people in the world will tell you, well, you need to change it according to the job role, but when you're a Christian, that rule does not apply. So I left it the way it was, and then I kept applying. Then after a while, I said to myself, you know what, I'm not just gonna apply for any job now. I'm going to be specific about what I want, okay? I'm not going to look for a job out of desperation. So I said to myself, God, I want an office job. I want an office job, a 9 to 5. I just want an office job. That's what I want, right? I don't want to stand in retail anymore, doing 8 hours a day anymore. I just want an office job. So every single thing that Indeed was sending to me, Indeed is a job website. If it had retail, I wasn't putting my CV on it. If it had an office job, I was putting my CV there. So by this time, I got only 4 months left to pay this £530. And some of you might be thinking, well, did you not use your job seekers money to pay some of it? I couldn't use my job seekers money to pay some of it because I had to use that to help someone out in my family. I had to use that to pay like my mobile direct debit. Like, the job seekers money is too small, so it just wasn't going to work for me to just put all my job seekers money into the buy now pay later Argos card. You know what I mean? So by this time I've got like 3 to 4 months left and every time I'm just looking up to the sky like, God, you need to help me. £530, where am I gonna get that money? My parents must not even find out that I did the buy now pay later thing. You know what I mean? So there was no way I could ask my parents, oh please, can I have £530? My parents would just look at me like, do you not know the budget in this household? Do you not know the income in this household? So I was just looking up to God. I was like, God, I don't want to worry, but you know, my flesh is making me to worry, because every time I'm looking at this camera, I know that at the back of my head I've got $530 to pay and it hasn't been paid at all. And if you don't pay it on time, every single month they will start to add interest, like every single day, not every month, not every 2 weeks, not every week, every single day. So you could owe like a huge amount by the end of 1 month, you know. So I was just looking up to God, and you know, one time God just came to me and he was like, listen, Dami, stop worrying. That's what he said to me. Stop worrying. And that was it. And I said, okay, God, I'm not gonna worry. Because when you worry, it's like an indirect way of you saying, God, you know, are you really gonna do it? Like, God, are you really looking at my situation? God, can you not see that I only got 3 to 4 months left? God, come through. God, I need your help right now. And God's like, don't worry. Stop worrying. So by this time I said, okay, I'm not gonna think about it. I know I got $530 at the back of my head, but I'm not gonna think about it. I'm just gonna let it be. I'm gonna let you do your thing. I don't know how you're gonna do it, but I believe that you're gonna do it. So I saw this job. I saw this job on my laptop, right? Bear in mind, I've been applying for loads and loads of jobs, and you know, when you just see another one, you're just like, oh, is there any point? Like, what's the assurance that they're even gonna call me now? But I just said, you know what? Let me just apply. Let me just apply for the sake of applying, right? So I applied for it. I didn't hear anything until 1 month later. I get a phone call. Am I speaking to Damilola? I'm like, yes, you're speaking to Damilola. And then they were like, well, I just want to tell you that you got a job interview for us. Are you available to come next week? If you need me to come in 2 hours, I'll come in 2 hours. I was like, yeah, I'm available to come next week, blah, blah, blah. And I came for the interview, hoping that they'll give me a response. You know how these managers are like. You come in for an interview and then they don't call you for like another 2 weeks to even tell you whether you passed it or not. Another thing that made me get like frustrated as well. So I was like, God, we're in the month of October, got November, December, January, and before you know it, February is already here. You need to do something. So, you know, they didn't call me. I was like, oh, I hope I didn't say anything wrong. I hope I smiled. I hope I said the right thing. And this type of interview, it was really funny. Like, the person that was interviewing me was doing most of the talking. I wasn't even doing any talking. He was doing all the talking. So I said to myself, I see no reason why he wouldn't call me again. He has to call me again. I didn't do anything wrong. So 2 weeks later, they called me and they said, we just want to let you know that we've decided to give you the job, and that are you available to start with us next week? I said yes. And then I hung up. I was like, oh God, I just want to thank you. Because guys, I hate being in debt, man. I hate it. It's not good to live a life of debt. I've never been in debt and I don't want to be in debt, okay? So they called me in for the job, hoping that, oh, I'll get paid next month. But no, I got paid in January instead. And then February, I had to pay off my thing for August, and that was it. That was it. That was how God provided me a camera in the midst of no job. And the reason why I'm doing this video is I want you sorry guys, I want you to I want your faith to build up. I want your faith to build up in Christ. Some of you, your faith is too small because you're always trying to work things out yourself. You always feel like if you need something, you have to do something. You don't want to leave things alone and let God do it. And I know, because a lot of people preach, you know, well, God can't do anything if you're not doing anything, and if you have faith, you need to show your actions to back it up, which is true. But in some situations, sometimes there's nothing you can do than just to wait and listen to what God has to say. That's the truth. You know, the day I got up and I was, you know, going on the laptop looking for the cheapest and looking for this, looking for that, you know, if I didn't do that day, I don't think I would get that phone call about the camera. I don't think I'll get that phone call. But God saw it in my heart that, you know what, this girl really is desiring to get this camera. Like, she really has a strong desire to get this camera ASAP. So God has seen that, you know, you've tried your best. Now you need to step back and let me do what I'm going to do so that my name can be glorified in it. And that's why you watching me now, you can say, yeah, you know what? I'm going to build my trust on God. Some of you, you're always trying to do it. When God says, okay, I'll provide it for you, you're always trying to look for ways to do it yourself, and your way might just ruin it. Your way might not be the way God wants to do it, and it can get really, really frustrating. I'm not gonna lie, it can get very frustrating, especially when you can't even see how it's going to happen. Like, there is no evidence of how it's going to happen, and that's faith. If you read Hebrews chapter 1 verse 1, it says faith is the substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. I can't see it, but I hope to get it. I can't see it, but I know I'm going to get it. I can't see it, but I'm going to have it, and that's faith. And hopefully after this video you will grow in your faith, and whenever God tells you something, please trust and believe in Him. And that's it for this video. Until my next video, make sure you stay blessed and stay beautiful. Bye.